I'm delighted to be joined for a bit of a bonus chat by Borland and Haley Lucas. If you haven't seen Monday's content, it's well worth checking out the whole session, including our chat on getting started and establishing yourself online. We thought we'd continue our chat to cover off how this online presence has the potential to help with preparing clients before you have the protection conversation with them. So first of all, I wonder if I can ask you how you can use your online presence to prepare clients for meetings where you're going to be talking about protection. So maybe including educational content. Ash, what do you think?
Yeah, you can use it in loads of different ways. So one of the ways that we use it is you can use it before the clients even come to you. If you're creating educational content that is effectively warming them up to the idea of what they're going to have a discussion with you. So if you've got videos out there or written content or posts or anything out there that is organic, that's pushing towards this is what we will ask you about, medical questions, things like that. You can also then have it in automated sequencing afterwards. So once they've booked an appointment with you, you can easily have like an automated email sequence that gives them information that effectively says, this is the stuff we're going to talk about, this is some stories, this is some people that have claimed. And actually, it's really important. I think the more you have that, and the way I described it to a client recently was a lot of time people are trying to pull in more leads. Yeah. And we're pouring those leads into a very leaky bucket. And instead, what we should be doing is trying to figure out how we can plug the bucket and make those leads last longer. And one of those is thinking about that client journey before they see you, but once they've registered. Yeah. And so you can do lots of things with automations and email sequencing and stuff like that. It's very, very, very useful.
Yeah. And Haley, what would you add?
Yeah, a lot of the content that we do is educational. Yeah. And our customer journey as well. Before the calls, we like to even give the customer insight into price. So we've designed certain calculators that will break it down for them, so they can expect certain prices before they actually speak to us. And yet, like you say, what we do is we'll warm them up with a welcome email, and we'll explain the process of what will happen. We're going to call them, we're going to take them through this, we're going to ask them these questions. And it all contributes to the advisor having a lot of the information passed to them beforehand, before they actually speak to the customer.
Yeah, definitely warms up the client before that conversation happens. So everything we've talked about yesterday and today, what we're focusing on is in the hope that we're generating business and leads. But I'm wondering how you go about assessing the quality of those leads and the business you're getting before you try and move forward with it. Haley, what would your thoughts be?
I'd be looking at the data. Are the people who are booking appointments, are they answering the phone? What time of the day is best for your customers? Is it on their lunch breaks? Is it mornings? Is it evenings? What type of content are they engaging with beforehand? Are they opening the email that you've sent to them? Are they replying to the email? I would be assessing it that way. How many of them customers are you getting to quote stage? Are the customers coming through? Are they clear on the process? Are they clear how long the appointment's going to take? That is how I would assess the quality. And then the end goal, how many sales, how many customers are converted.
Yeah, there's some pretty sound metrics there. Ash, would you add?
Yeah, it's pretty much a lot of the same stuff. The thing that I try to focus on with people is it's trying to get, it's like a power switch. So the ultimate goal would be to have clients coming to you and effectively asking you to give them the insurance. That's how we measure it. And that, like I said, we said yesterday, it takes about 18 months to get to that point. It's effectively, if someone's coming onto the call, a good measure of it's working is if they're saying to you, I watched the video and I saw this and I actually want this because of this reason. If you as the advisor have to sell it, you have to say, this is you should be thinking about this, then at that point, it's probably not working as well as you thought. And so we use it at that metric. It should get easier and easier and easier to sell to the client. It's very hard to track organic. And that's something that I would really like to stress is when it's ads and paid and there's a funnel and you can track it, very easy. The problem with social media, when you're posting anything on LinkedIn, it's near impossible to track, and to get it from the end stage, because the way, and this is something that's not thought about enough, is what is a social media lead? And a lot of times It can be, you know, someone might recommend you, like their friend might say, you go and speak to this insurance advisor, they're great. But then they might look at you on Instagram, they might then go and check you out on LinkedIn, they might go to your website. So there's so many different brand touch points that you don't know what it was. And it has always been the case. And I often find people that like referral, they'll go, referrals are really high. I seem to be getting more referrals. And I'm like, and then you check it through and they go, oh yeah, I watched that video, watch that. So it's more, I think is the client, there's less friction, you're selling more, they're taking higher premiums, there's, as in regards, because they're understanding the product better, it's the client understanding is what we try to track. And if you're done well, it does go up, because you're not getting people who, you're getting people who have maybe been in that sequence longer, they understand it, goes back to your first question. Yeah. And so that's how I track it.
Yeah, sure. And just one final question for today. I wanted to touch on the subject of reviews, whether they should be part of an advisor's strategy. Are they useful to share with clients before a meeting? Do they convince clients, or is it just a matter of sharing with anyone else that you've got a satisfied customer on your hands? What do you think?
So I'm a big fan of reviews, but okay. I think they fall into different, there's different use cases for them. So I'm a big fan of, you need 3 things. You need to have competency of knowledge, you need to demonstrate to the client you know what you're talking about. Yeah. So that is written content, video, whatever, it's actual information, so the educational stuff. You need to have competency of implementation, so you demonstrate that you actually do the job, you walk the walk as well as talk the talk. And so that there's lots of different things. That can be screenshots of you in a client meeting, whatever that may be. That's not a review though. And then you need to have social proof, which is other people say you're good at the job, and they are really important. I post and get my clients to post reviews every single day. Like every single day. You should be cycling it over and over again all the time. The more reviews you have, the better. Video, written, like audio, anything, and across all mediums. They are so important, but they don't work on their own. But in regards to, like, would I push it down someone's throat at the beginning? No, probably not. I'd want them to see it if they wanted to go and see it.
Yeah, it's there. Hayley, would you agree?
Yeah, they're so important. Again, we will put them in our ads sometimes, we'll put them in the ad copy, we'll let people know that we're rated 5-star. But we do find that people will do a bit of due diligence on us as well. And they will, you know, they'll see that we're highly reviewed, and you get such a better quality customer from a customer that's searched on a review platform and has come to you. The quality is really, really good, because that customer is shopping around and you're standing out for them.
Oh yeah, so just to add on to that, like a simple thing that I think anyone who's doing this just to think about is, like, as you said, people will do their due diligence and they're going to look. And one of the things that is not a pet hate of mine, but it's something I'm like, it's just so easily fixable, is go onto your link, just LinkedIn, because there's lots of other profiles, but the amount of people that don't have LinkedIn recommendations, just get 10. Just get 10 people who've worked. You don't need more than that. But you would be in the top 1% of people if someone was like, is that person's good? That's their chosen platform. But people don't do it. They think, well, no one really checks. You don't know. And that could be the difference between one sale or not. If that you need
quick
win, easy win.
And definitely it sounds like a worthwhile endeavour for advisors, not just something else to do. To do this.
It's worth the weight in gold, I think, testimonials.
Yeah. Well, listen, thank you both once again for joining us for our bonus chat and for your time yesterday. I think there's loads of tips there for advisors added to what they've seen earlier today as well in our panel discussion. So thanks.
Thank you.
Well.